Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to start with the next chapter, that is chapter 2. We're going to deal with biochemistry in this chapter. As these slides are showing that all those things which are actually dealing with the chemical nature of compounds and chemical nature of different molecules, all those molecules would be discussed in this chapter, and regarding those biomolecules which are making and constituting the structure and function of our life or living organisms. Basically, we are going to focus those biomolecules, and we'll deal with the detailed structure as well as their function and their role in maintaining the life activities. First of all, we'll enlist the contents we are going to discuss in this chapter. As usual, the introduction at the first level, then importance of carbon. And carbon is a very, very important element which is going to be discussed in detail, because most of the molecules which are regarded as biomolecules, they are constituting from carbon. They are organic in nature, and that means a molecule with carbon and hydrogen in a good ratio. Importance of water. And water, how important is this? Although this is a very simple molecule, but what is actually the importance of this molecule in maintaining life and life reactions? All the metabolic reactions which are going on within living systems, they are facilitated by water, and it is required to maintain a watery environment in order to have a good working criteria for those molecules. Carbohydrates, the first molecule we're going to discuss. These are the big structures we will discuss, and these are all organic in nature. Carbohydrates are very, very important structures regarding our life, structure, function, as well as the regular energy source. Lipids, again, another organic molecular nature structure, and they are maintaining some structural capabilities and the structural criteria. Proteins, the very, very important organic structure which is maintaining almost all of the structure of living bodies, because if we're dealing with the animals, specifically human beings, starting from head to toe, we are made up of proteins in structure, and specifically many functional roles are also there which are related with this organic molecule. The nucleic acids, that are DNA and RNA, these are again organic in nature, and they are actually making the king of the cells, or those structures which are controlling agents of the cells and cellular structures, and they are actually present in chromosomes, the genetic sequences, and they are playing a key role towards the destination and towards the destiny of new generations. Conjugated molecules. Then, after discussing all the structure and functional structures of these things, we'll discuss some conjugated molecules. These are those molecules which are combination of two big category molecules. Although they have two different categories, but they are of equal level. When they combine together, they provide us with a conjugated molecule, and they are very important in maintaining some structural and functional role in the cells as well as in the bodies. Let us start with the introduction, that is the first topic of this chapter. We're going to study the chemical components and chemical processes in living organisms. This is regarding biochemistry. That means a branch of science in which the chemical components and chemical processes in living organisms, they are under consideration. Number 1, number 2, number 3. These are all the keywords. That means we have to deal with chemical components and all the metabolic processes which are chemical in nature going on, but within living organisms. That's why the name biochemistry is being used. Biochemistry, that is used. This is the branch of science dealing with all these 3 key points. Metabolic reactions within the body, photosynthesis, that is the key reaction in which the producers make their own food using light. Digestion, that is a process in which catabolic reactions are going on and the things they have been broken down in order to make them diffusible. Then muscle contraction. Although the muscle contraction seems to be a physiological process that is not required any chemical things, but it is actually requiring a chemical process in itself, using energy as well as the binding and releasing of calcium in order to contract the muscles for movement. That means all these things, they are relying on the biochemical structures and biochemistry. Here is the word web of biochemistry. What things it is going to discuss within it. All the things which are related with the chemical structures, they are going to be discussed over here, like biochemy, biometrics, radiobiology, life sciences, microbiology, pharmacology, astrobiology, physiology, and ethnobiology, bioecology, and biometry, enzymology. These are all those things which are going to be discussed at chemical level. All these interconvertible branches of science, but they are dealing with the chemical nature. All of these structures, they would be related with biochemistry, because as we are dealing with internal composition of the structure and function, that's why they will include all the other life sciences in them too. Chemical compounds. Let us introduce some chemical compounds, like what are these things and why they are required and why we are discussing them in our life. They are of two nature regarding presence or absence of carbon. They can be organic in nature when the compound is having carbon in it, and other one is inorganic, that is without carbon or with carbon. Organic, they are enlisted over here that are going to be discussed in this chapter. Carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids. These are known as hydrated carbons because they are having 100% same ratio of hydrogen and oxygen in them as is present in water. That's why these are thought to be the hydrated carbon. That means those carbons which are having water molecule in them too. Proteins, these are carbon. That means those carbons which are having water molecule in them too. Proteins, these are long structures. They are made from amino acids. The simplest structure which is going to complete protein is amino acid. Lipids, they are made up of fatty acids and glycerols. We'll discuss in detail definitely. And nucleic acids, they are made up of a sugar that has been taken from carbohydrates. That is, the simplest structure of carbohydrate is sugars, and it is including a sugar, nitrogenous base, and phosphorus. These are the structures we'll discuss in detail, but these all are belonging to the category of organic molecules. That means all of them, they are having carbon in them as a major skeleton, and the carbon is joining with hydrogen and other atoms in order to complete a stable molecular structure. While in case of inorganic one, they are not having carbon in them. And if they have carbon, that is not in a complete ratio with that of the hydrogen or oxygen that is required to maintain in case of organic one. For example, water, carbon dioxide, acids, bases, and salts. As the name indicate, sometimes why this one is placed over here. Why carbon dioxide, although having a carbon atom in it, is not considered to be organic one? The answer lies in this, that carbon dioxide, number one, is not making a bond with hydrogen. So for organic molecules, one thing which is again necessary, carbon should bind with hydrogen in a good concentration and a ratio. While here, there is no hydrogen present. Similarly, this is a gaseous state that is not a stable product. It is a gas. It is present in atmosphere in a gas and structure in a gaseous state. That is not a stable one, and it is not having a hydrogen bonded with carbon. That's why it is not organic, it is inorganic. Similarly, water, no carbon is there, 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen, 100% like that are present in carbohydrate. 2 acids, different types of acids, all are inorganic in nature. Inorganic without carbon in them. Let us discuss the chemical composition of a bacterial and a mammalian cell. There is a tabular form in which we are going to compare the chemical composition of different molecules and their percentages which are present in these 2 types of cells. We are going to discuss them or compare them under the heads of chemical components, percentage total weight, cell weight, in bacterial cell and a mammalian cell. So we are comparing 2 different types of cell. Bacterial cell being a prokaryotic cell, that means they are not having a proper nucleus. We'll discuss in detail in the cell chapter number 4, that is the cell, as well as in the variety of life, that is the chapter number 5. But here I would introduce a monoron, that is bacterial cell without a true nucleus, and in a mammalian cell, that is a eukaryotic cell with a proper membrane bounded nucleus. So let us compare them. Water, if it is present in bacterial cell and mammalian cell, the percentage is 100% same. 70% water is present according to cell weight. Proteins, these are present 15% in case of bacterial cell, while in case of mammalian cell, they are 18. Carbohydrates, 3 and 4. Lipids, they are 2 and 3. It means there is a slight difference in cellular composition regarding these biomolecules. Although they are totally different in nature, totally different in function, and definitely in evolutionary history, they are very far away from one another. But it shows that more or less they are actually having the same chemical composition in them. Similarly, it is visible that DNA molecule is only 1% here and 0.25% in case of mammalian cell. It means DNA is in amount more as compared to mammalian cell in bacteria. RNA, it is present in this amount, that is 6 and 1.1. Again, it is differentiating it itself. And other organic molecules like enzymes, hormones and metabolites, mostly proteinaceous in nature, they are 2 and 2. They are mostly proteinaceous, that is made up of amino acids. They are having the same percentage in both cells. Similarly, some inorganic ions like sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, chlorine, sulfate, etc. They are 1 and 1. It means again they are same over here. That is the chemical composition. After discussing this, we can assume very well that there is a slight chemical difference regarding the composition of a cell in the advancement of evolution, that from Monera, the mammalian cell have acquired certain different characters, but mostly they are the same.